If hell was real, my own personal what dreams may come style section of hell would be mosquitoes everywhere. Just everywhere. Covered in mosquitoes, mosquitoes whining, biting me constantly all the time. No sunshine, music playing that I can't control, and at a volume that I can't control. Oh my god. And finally, there would be dinosaurs everywhere. Just filled to the brim with dinosaurs. Everywhere I look, there's a dinosaur. I hate all prehistoric creatures in general, but dinosaurs they occupy a special place of hatred in my heart. Like, I've watched Jurassic Park like when I was a child, but that scene when we first see the dinosaurs and like the song is playing, like the big ones, I don't know what they're called, and all the characters are filled with wonder and awe, and that song is playing. Na, 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 na. I've never felt more nothing in my entire life. I remember just feeling nothing, and I also remember just feeling nothing when they were being chased by the T-Rexes or the Raptors or whatever they're called. I don't care. Anytime I see a depiction of one or someone mentions one, I get so upset. Like, it doesn't make sense. This does not make sense, and that's why I want to change it. When I leave this earth in 15 years, I want to be at the very least just neutral about dinosaurs, because it's insane. It is insane to have the reaction that I have to seeing a depiction of a dinosaur. It's weird. And yes, I do know precisely when and how I'm going to die. So here's the plan. Here's how I'm going to tackle this problem. 1, with cuteness. I like cute things, so I'm going to try and find maybe a children's book or something where they're depicted in a cute way. Then the second thing I'm going to try and do is try and stoke my scientific curiosity about them. I like learning about animals in general. Before I was burnt out on them, I used to love myself a nature documentary. They're all kind of the same, but I like learning about animals. I like learning about biology. So I figure if I learn more about them, then I might like them. And when I say learn about them, I don't just mean memorize names. When someone knows the specific names of dinosaurs, I judge them. In my head, I'm judging them. I'm like, wow, a dinosaur lover. I didn't know I was talking to a dinosaur lover. Do you see how ridiculous this is? This is why I want to fix it. The third thing I want to do is find a fun story. I think that the other issue is that dinosaurs are more often than not depicted as something to run away from. So I'm trying to find a story where that's not the case. Or maybe some sort of xenofiction told from the perspective of the dinosaur. Although now that when I'm thinking about it, I think that would be a little bit too cheesy for me. That's the plan. We'll attack this problem with cuteness, with scientific curiosity, and with good storytelling. And hopefully by the end of this, I will be at the very least neutral. There will be a dinosaur hatred meter throughout the video, and by the end of this, I want it to get to 50. 50 is neutral, and that's what I want. Anyway, I'm back, obviously, because I've already read the children's book. It's like 40 pages. I read What If Dinosaurs Came Back or something like that. I don't remember the name of the book. And this book is so cute. It's a story within a story, and the framing narrative is a boy, pondering what would happen if they came back. What would happen? And the answer, according to this little boy in this book, is just they would just help us out with stuff. They would be transport. They would help us reach high places. They would allow us to ski on them like their slopes, all sorts of different things. It was nice seeing them depicted in that manner and not just as something to run away from. There was one spread that made me uncomfortable. It made me feel empathy for the dinosaurs, which I was like, whoa, wait, this is working. This book is working. But then I thought, these things are gigantic, and if they do not want to be here, all they have to do is walk away. Like, it doesn't even have to be a drama. It doesn't have to be like a rampage. Like, they just have to walk away. And you will let go. This book by itself almost cured me. Just this one by itself. Until we got to the end, there were like drawings of dinosaurs and their names. Hated it. I was like, how dare you try and make me learn the names of these things. So initially, before that page, we were legitimately down to 50%. And then that page happened, and now we're back up. We're back up, but to 60. This book did a lot of work. Look, so I tried to read Weird Dinosaurs, but it just really was not holding my attention. I think genuinely, if you really are interested in natural history, I think that would be a great book. If you like natural history, and also if you like stories about how the fossils were uncovered, I think that's where it was losing me the most. Because I barely care. You can just tell me who found it and where they found it and then what it is, and I'm good. I don't need an entire narrative. So instead of reading that book, I decided to watch the National Geographic 2009 documentary Bizarre Dinosaurs instead, and I loved it. Absolutely delightful. I just, wow. I think that documentaries can be succinct in a way that a book just can't. You know what I mean? But this was so much fun. I enjoyed this so much. And I enjoyed it right from the beginning, immediately. I loved how all of the paleontologists, all the dino people, I like how they were like disagreeing with each other about stuff. I love that. I love a good, robust, scientific argument, you know. I love that. I also enjoyed like actually learning about some of these dinosaurs. Like I was like, who am I? What is going on? I was having such a good time, to the point where I even have a favorite dinosaur now, like some sort of dinosaur lover. Like who am I? Can you guess what it is? I'll give you a hint. They look like my beloved African elephants. In this documentary, every time they would introduce a new dinosaur, they would like talk about it a little bit and they would show the 3D model. I would get genuinely so excited to see the fossil. Like, oh my gosh, show me the bones. I want to see the bones. Like, who am I? I also, another thing I really liked, because I like birds, I also liked the proto birds that they showed with their cute little feathers and their weird little bodies. And that made me realize that I would like dinosaurs. What happened to the dinosaur feather thing? Did we just decide that that's not a thing? Anyway, that made me realize that I would like dinosaurs more, all dinosaurs in general, if they looked like giant chickens. Show me the bones. This documentary was so surprising and so much fun. I legitimately wanted to like learn more about dinosaurs, like watch more documentaries and like Google information and stuff, and like maybe read like actual textbooks. Did I do any of that? Of course not. I'm not a dinosaur lover. Anyway, this documentary, it got the job done. I am now legitimately curious about dinosaurs. Like, why are they so big? That's another reason why I hated them for so long. Why are they so big? Even though I like our current day giants, like I would hug a blue whale. I would, and I like elephants and giraffes. But like dinosaurs, they're too big. If I was in charge, I would not have allowed any of that to happen. Way too big for no reason. Just, ugh. Dinosaur lovers. So the last book that I read was Far-Seer, another banger. This was so good. This is one of the best works of xenofiction I've read. Personally, I haven't read that much, but this is so good. It's my favorite type of xenofiction, which is creatures learning how their world works, learning the science of their world. So this is about dinosaurs, but not really. They're Quintaglios. They're dinosaurs, but they're aliens. They're on another planet. This book does have implications about the the origin of dinosaurs, I think, on our planet in real life. Why are my Sims moving around? Didn't I pause? The main dinosaurs are T-Rexes, I think, but their arms, their top arms, whatever they're called, are longer and more useful than the T-Rexes that we've uncovered here on planet Earth. And they have like this weird little society. It's a feudal system, right down to the whole, you know, the ruling family being the ruling family by divine right or whatever. All of that nonsense is in here as well. This is basically, what if Galileo was an alien dinosaur? This is a slow book, very character driven. The slowness isn't necessarily in, you know, pausing every few seconds to like tell us about the character we're following. The slowness comes in telling us about the world. I enjoyed this at the beginning and in the middle, you know, just like exploring their little society, all their little dinosaur adapted furniture. Like they have something called a day slab as well, like because they have those tails, so they can't sit on proper chairs, even though they do have chairs, but they're like not like ours. And their dining room tables have drainage holes, like a mortician's table. They like it fresh. They keep them alive, and then when somebody wants to eat something, the butcher will go and kill the animal and bring it fresh, bleeding. So that's what this is. Galileo, but alien dinosaur. At some point, it's also Moby Dick, that we go on a journey. This is very much about the conflict of science and religion. You know what I thought of when I was reading this? Remember how like the Catholic Church apologized to Galileo like recently-ish? And I'm like, this man has been dead for centuries. Like, what? It's too late. You've been dead. Like, what are we doing? Anyway. Oh my god, the church and its shenanigans, man. Jesus. Anyway, this is this book. It's the conflict between science and religion, and also the conflict of these dinosaurs trying how to live in a way that goes against their nature, which I think parallels us, but in opposing ways. They're like territorial and solitary in this book. right? But they're forcing themselves to live communally, whereas us human beings, we're, you know, communal, collectivist, empathetic beings, but we're forcing ourselves to live the way we're currently living. And by we're forcing ourselves, I mean systems of capital. So yeah, that's what this book is about, man. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this so much. Again, great xenofiction. Did drag towards the end, and also towards the end it like ramped up and things were getting more actiony and stuff. I was skimming those scenes. I was like, wow, this is crazy. The main character was hard to root for, but like some of it is naivety and some of it is just somebody being dumb as hell. Like, you need to be tactful. You can't just go around challenging, you know, people's faith, especially in this type of political system. It also made me think of like science communication, how some people are good at having ideas but bad at communicating them. This also had something that scares me, and it's mobs of people behaving irrationally, in this case whipped up into a frenzy because again this dude has been challenging their religion. This was a good book. It didn't really move the bar on the dino hater meter at all, because like I think I like dinosaurs as much as I'm gonna like them. So that was that. This was great. I read a great book, watched a fun documentary, and flipped through a cute little children's book and enjoyed myself. And have come out the other end, you know, kind of like being okay with dinosaurs, having a healthy appreciation for dinosaurs. There we go. I did what I set out to do, and that is cure myself of my dinosaur hatred. And, you know, I think that's great. I think that's great. What's next? Smokers.